Suit of Swords in tarot. So if you're doing a reading and you find that there's a lot of swords cards in a spread, of course your first thought is going to be there is a lot of conflict here. There's a great deal going on and a great deal of disturbance, I suppose, in your querent's life. So some of the darkest cards of the tarot deck are actually the swords. So the Ten of Swords, the stabbed in the back card, you've been massively let down, you've been hugely stabbed in stabbed in the back by someone. Perhaps you've been made redundant from a job that you've done for a long time. Your partner is being unfaithful, that kind of thing. That if you look at the card, it is very dramatic, isn't it? So the kind of flip side of this is, are you being a bit of a drama queen? Is it really that bad? But of course, do be careful how you sort of say that to people. But certainly, yeah, it's a conflict situation. But of course, do remember, always with the number 10 cards, this is something that has, it's an end of something. And of course, once something ends, you then make a fresh start, you make a new beginning. And of course, we see this very much with the card of the Tower. From the ruins of the Tower, you build something new. The Nine of Swords, yes, it is the darkest before the dawn card. It is, from here, the only way is up. From here, things can only get better. But again, there is a certain amount of, there are people you can turn to. There are friends who will help you if you ask. The common response to that is, no, there isn't. I'm completely on my own. But come on. We all reach out a hand in friendship to our friends when they're in this sort of stage. But of course, you don't know if people don't tell you. Yeah. So on the positive side of the Suit of Swords, we can look at things like the Ace of Swords. Aces, of course, fresh starts, new beginnings, very positive. Looking at the Ace of Swords, we have the crown and the laurel wreath of victory. Victory is something that you gain. Victory is something you win. If you run a marathon and you cross the finishing line, you have achieved your own personal target. Most people running a marathon aren't really aiming to win. They're not going to come in the first 10. But their own personal victory is actually finishing the whole marathon and actually achieving what they set out to achieve. That's their own victory. So the Ace of Swords, it's a very positive card, very much about winning through. But the other thing I found with swords is they can be very much about cutting ties and moving on. This can often be a kind of Excalibur. It's very much about cutting ties with the past, moving on, moving forward, and creating something new. You're amazed how many people are hanging on to an awful lot of very old energy. They're afraid of starting a new relationship because they don't want to get hurt, because they've been hurt in the past. But the past is the past. It is leaving our lives. It is going away. And of course, that is very evident with the Six of Swords. In the kind of gypsy fortune telling tradition, there's that whole thing about, I see you going on a journey over water. Now, this can mean a physical journey. And of course, for those of us living in Britain, we are an island. So to travel outside Britain, of course, we do need to get across water. But the element of water is very much about emotion. And so the Six of Swords can also be an emotional journey. It can be a card of grief and bereavement. So people can grieve for divorce, the loss of a business. People can grieve for all kinds of things. And it is very much about the ferryman there punting away from something. The characters in the card, they have our back to us. They are moving away from us. So the journey over water, you are moving away from something. But think about your goal, think about your aim, think about what it is that you are moving towards. And I think this is very much about cutting ties with the past, very much about moving on, very much about finding a new aim and working out what your own destination is. The message with tarot is change. We are here to grow, we are here to develop. Life is a journey. It is all about the fool's journey. You know, we let go of the past. I've certainly known people who, when they've got divorced, have then burnt their wedding dress. That's probably a waste of a really good dress that you could donate to a charity shop. But actually, that kind of ritual of burning something, destroying something, and then from the ashes of that you move on, and you create something new. The element that goes with swords is air. Air is action. Think of a wind turbine generating electricity. So the Page of Swords, a message, a fresh start. This could perhaps be a message about conflict, or it could be a message about something very definitely ending. It is getting your decree absolute, whatever it is you get through when you get, and from that moment, that's it. You're no longer married. You can move on. Yeah, or perhaps achieving probate when someone has passed away and you've had that mountain of paperwork to work through. But perhaps the Page of Swords, perhaps it's a message about a new job. Who knows? It is about cutting ties with one thing, moving on to something else. So swords aren't always negative. It can be very positive. It can mean action, moving on. But moving, it does require a certain amount of work on our part, doesn't it? You know, lots to think about, I think, with the Suit of Swords, and certainly a great deal to think about with the court cards, with the King and the Queen of Swords. You know, who is she? A woman in your life who does bring challenges, does bring a certain amount of conflict, perhaps a domineering boss at work, perhaps a difficult co-worker, difficult neighbour. But is this an invitation for you to draw your own sword and go rushing in there like an Amazon warrior woman? Or is this an invitation to thinking about the card of strength, the very female character who tamed the lion, thinking about conflict resolution from the sort of nurturing female point of view rather than from the sort of warrior point of view. There's an awful lot to think about with swords cards. They are great. But, the message of tarot is not so much about what is going to happen, but it is about the choices that you need to make. And enjoy your own journey, and I do hope to see you again soon.